People are saying that a soldier has leaked information about V. We also have an alleged romance at the camp, or a photo showing that. And then we have Dispatch talking about V in a recent story that has resurfaced. So hey Dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Let's get into it. So Dispatch recently released a clip that was taken right before V went into the military. So this was during his solo career, and he had gone to the airport at one point, and apparently no one showed up. There was really no crowd that was there. There was only Dispatch that was there, and no other media site was really there either. Which, by the way, proves this whole point that I've been talking about for a really long time, which is the fact that there is media sites and fans being told or given information about V at the airport, or any of the BTS members at the airport, which is how they know when to show up. And that information is given to them. No one is actually just showing up without information or stalking them. So it really does show that these things are planned. So if you're upset about it, you really shouldn't be. These things are planned. The celebrity usually knows that it's planned, and so forth. But during this clip, the reporter at Dispatch told V that she had seen his recent music video trailer that he was going to release. This music video obviously is out now, but at the time it wasn't. And V had a really cute reaction to this. He was smiling and he was really excited, and he just had such a bright reaction to this. I mean, obviously a lot of people have seen the trailer at that point. Millions and millions of people have seen it, but he was extremely taken back and excited and happy that this reporter had taken the time to actually sit there and watch it, and also be excited and happy for V. I don't particularly know the exact reason why he was so happy. Perhaps to him that is a gauge of true success, just the fact that a reporter or someone outside of his circle, or potentially someone outside of his community, had actually sat there and watched the trailer. Now obviously if the reporter watched the trailer and liked it, then she's part of the community, but sometimes it feels like someone who is a reporter, or someone who might be a magazine writer or a journalist or whatever, might not be part of the community and is supposed to be non-biased. And if they're saying that something is good, it really means that it's really good and it's going to appeal to a general public. At least that's my assumption as to why V would be super excited by that comment. This story obviously happened a little while ago, but now is being brought up again as a lot of people are so excited by his return, and they want to see more moments like this. And they're also rooting for his return because he's so unbelievably cute and adorable. There's of course several people that would have had a different reaction if someone said, "Oh, I watched your trailer." A lot of celebrities might have the reaction of, "Well, of course you did. It's out, isn't it?" And they might not feel as glad about it. And they maybe just kind of think that it's supposed to be seen. It's a normal thing that people are watching, when in reality it's not normal that people are watching, or that you have people's attention. People can stop watching you at any time for any reason. However, V and the other BTS members likely won't ever be in a position in which people are going to dislike them so much that they won't watch them. They are so well loved by the general public that just the word of mouth would increase their viewership so much. And there are so many people in the military right now that have come in contact with V and the other BTS members and have nothing but really positive and amazing things to say about them. It's really cool seeing the people in the military interact in such a cute way, because it really confirms that the BTS boys are all really great people, because there's really no reason for the people in the military to be so friendly with the BTS boys or really say such nice things about them. They really don't gain that much from that at all. Some new photos had come out which people were freaking out about, in which it showed V and various other soldiers in the military laughing, giggling, and having a lot of fun. This is extremely important and cute for the community, as a lot of people were so excited to see the type of friends that V's made. Unlike Jimin and JK, V enlisted by himself and not with a buddy system. And he definitely could have done a buddy system, but he chose not to do that. And when you're in the military, the odds of you seeing someone like him seeing his other bandmates were going to be pretty low. And given that the responsibilities that V had were going to be very different from the responsibilities of his other bandmates, it makes sense that they would never see each other. So it was really up to him to try to talk to people and become friends with new people. And I'm sure once he joined the military, he was very happy to approach and talk to people. And while, yes, he is extremely famous and talented and well-loved, I still don't believe that he would be the one that everyone would approach him, because someone that famous and big in the world is not going to be not intimidating to other people, meaning most people are going to feel like they can't go up to him, or they're going to get in trouble for talking to him. So he's definitely going to have to make the first move in that aspect. There's of course a few good things about seeing his friends and kind of how he's doing now. One of the more amazing things is just simply the fact that he seems happy. he seems healthy and happy to be among the people that he likes. And in this particular photo, it seems like a joke was even told as they're all giggling. And another reason why this is extremely important is just because a lot of people want to see the faces of the people that he's been hanging out with. And this, of course, is good and bad. The good part is obvious. V is not alone. We get to know that he has friends and who they are. But the bad part is that it opens up these people, these friends, who potentially could have no interest in being famous or even have an interest in blowing up on social media, having their faces plastered everywhere or getting into this huge exposure that they may not want. Personally, I believe that they are okay with the amount of exposure that they are getting, as these photos were publicly posted by them, or I believe publicly posted onto military websites. I'm not exactly sure how these photos came about, but they're going viral right now. But I assume that they were posted publicly by someone, because it's clear that everyone in the photo was posing for a photo, so permission was likely given. So I don't necessarily feel bad for sharing these photos or putting them in this video, but I think that the actual question of is their lives going to be different is a real concern. I'm sure there are going to be people who end up getting really jealous, but probably can't do anything because it's not like V is having a relationship with the soldiers, or so people think. So there's also this ongoing rumor or thought that V might be hooking up with one of the soldiers in the military. I don't really know exactly where this comes from, but there are a lot of little moments here and there in which people believe could be interpreted as romantic or something like that. Apparently V won a Military Police Excellence Award, and I guess this was about how well he had been training and the amount of effort he had put into things, but also the amazing time in which it took him to complete a task, and all those things were accounted for in how he won this award. Some of the soldiers were talking about this and talking about how impressed they were by some of these accomplishments, moments in which V had won first place during a combat thing, as well as him pushing forward regardless of how tired he was, and those things. One of the soldiers talked about how they were doing a run or a walk of 3 kilometers, and perhaps this was the march that they were supposed to do, where they were carrying really heavy things and it was out in the heat or whatever, and it seemed like V was the one that was pushing everyone to keep going. The soldier mentioned that V was doing this side by side with everybody, and that he would remember this for the rest of his life, and it was an extremely memorable moment. He also labeled it as a romantic one. Some people interpret this to mean romantic like in a relationship, or that he might have done something romantic with some of the soldiers, but I think the word is translated slightly incorrectly. It is a moment in which the soldier was romanticizing it in his head. I'm sure at that moment that he was doing it, he probably felt exhausted, and it was not romantic nor glamorous nor any of those things. But him looking back, him looking at how amazing that moment was, how that moment bonded everyone together, and how he was able to see V in a different light because V was such a good leader, but also how he was able to see himself in a different light for being able to push through this hardship. But also seeing V stick through them and through that whole maybe uncomfortable situation and that whole hardship, realizing that and thinking about that is a little bit of a romanticization of a situation. And I think the soldier was looking back at it and saying something like he would never forget this. Also knowing that the person that he was getting this information from, this motivation from, and the person he was doing this with was someone from the outside world that is so famous beyond belief. And he got to experience this with a really rich, famous, smart, and amazing person. Of course, I think this would mean a lot to anybody, even if they weren't a bunch of BTS fans or a fan of V. So sometimes these words can be translated a little bit differently because the exact meaning or the phrase in which it might be said in Korean does not actually have a real word in English. I don't believe anything romantic was actually happening between V and the soldier, and I really do believe that this was a really cute moment, and I'm really glad the soldiers decided to share this with everybody and post it about it, because it is absolutely amazing. And let me know what you think. Make sure you check out Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thank you, just leave a comment right here. Love you, bye.